So in my Father's Day video, I illustrated what an amazing life my father had. And in making that video, I shot a BTS, a behind the scenes of me making the AI imagery. This is a lovely shot where he glances down. That's a great one. I'm in the process of writing proposals and also trying to put a trailer together so I can convince a broadcaster or a streamer that they want to make a film about my dad, and I'm documenting that process right here. I'm using Higgsfield to take an image of my dad here. This is Mick the dog and my father, and there's a big old damage, a fold on this image. What I did was I asked an image model to give me a fixed version of that and also expand it to 16:9. It looks amazing. The damage is gone. I now have that image. It is accurately my father and it is accurately the dog. So I can now use that in a 16:9 project. I use Higgsfield because I'm doing video generation as well. All of the archive that I have of my dad, apart from a couple of interviews and a couple of VHS stuff that I gathered.
Because all his bones were spread around on the floor underneath, but on the surface was just the skull.
I mean, there's still quite a lot. There's still quite a lot of video stuff that I've got of my dad. The issue I have is that a lot of it is stills that I have to somehow bring to life. I'm going to use AI to bring that part of the story alive. One of the questions that's really come up in my mind is, how do I tell stories that are this big? AI is the way currently, and I'm going to be very open with the fact that the AI representations of what you see on screen are my imaginings, and the quest of the film itself is to prove whether any of this happened. If there's any question about whether my dad would want his images to be brought alive, well, he left me the book, and when I conjure in my mind's eye the stuff that I'm reading about my dad on his adventures throughout his life, I can either do a reconstruction, which means that I have to get crew and cameras and a huge budget, but AI enables me to do that and allow me to put it out there now so I can get people interested in it right now. I think he would want me to do this. And if not, Dad, please feel free to haunt me. So I've just asked it to do another one. Wow. Okay, it's done a less good job than I hoped. So here is the original image. This image is quite interesting. What you can see here is a scan of one photograph my mum took when we were held, and I was on board at the time, we were held off the coast of Cuba by the Cuban Navy. It wasn't the Cuban Navy, it was a bunch of people who just wanted to come aboard and see what they could find on board the ship. So this gentleman here has, you can just see there, he's got a little something. That is an AK-47. These guards must have been about 16 or 17 years old. Those two gentlemen are crew members. I can't remember. I think that might be my dad. That looks like my dad. That's how he would stand. Dude with a gun, my dad talking to a crew mate. We couldn't speak to the guards. The guards wouldn't speak to us anyway. It was a horrible time, but it's one that I can actually personally remember. Anyway, I found the negatives for it and I took a picture on a white background and then scanned it in, and I have just asked, what model did I use? Nana Banana Pro to recreate. It's done a reasonable job, but it's given the crew member a gun. So the important thing is to keep it accurate to what actually happened. I ended up cutting the whole Cuba arrest story out of the Father's Day video. I wasn't happy with the generations that the AI model made. I couldn't get that still image right. So I think in terms of the film, I'm going to be open and honest when I use AI. I'm always going to show the original thing that the AI generation is based on. I've just created a whole load of imagery, including a black and white sort of character profile. The big struggle with AI is character consistency. And my main point for that is to create a character, and then took that and then did a front, a side and a back which allowed me to create not only the coloured version, which I might use, but it also allowed me to create a character. In Higgsfield, you can do that easily. You supply it with imagery of the character, and the best way I've found is to do a front, side and back profile of that character in the costume specific to that scene. I've gone into Cinema Studio and it's currently generating a 15-second video of that character walking through a jungle. So in the story, in the timeline of my father's life, there's going to be several versions of the Bill Sutton character from the early days to the 60s to the 70s, 80s. You get the point. All of those different versions of him, how he looked, how he aged, what he wore, they're all going to change. And so each iteration, each shot that requires a different time zone is going to require a different character. There's a story, a very far-fetched story, that my dad had a pet tiger in the jungles of Malaya. It sounds ridiculous, but it's what he said. He named it Satan, and when he had to leave Malaya, he gave that tiger to a zoo, and then that collection then went on to start or be the beginnings of a zoo in Southeast Asia. And so that tiger went into the breeding program. So the tiger story, I'm actually thinking that should be my first shoot. Do I go to Southeast Asia and try and find clues or proof that my dad actually did take a tiger to a Southeast Asian zoo and enter the breeder program, so I can trace that tiger through and actually maybe meet some of the offspring of my father's tiger. So it's done that generation. That looks amazing. That's great, fantastic. But the tiger is just too big. So yeah, I'm re-prompting it. But in terms of the quality of the rendering of my dad and the interactions with all the foliage in the jungle and stuff like that, and the actual look of it, this is going to work. This is absolutely going to work. Exciting. I am aware that I am a 50-year-old editor who does not live in any shape or form the life that my dad lived. So there's some humour to be had in that. So the way I fixed that was that I got Claude to generate this. My comfort zone is in the edit suite telling stories. My life is not traveling around the world looking for tigers. This is a great shot, but tigers like something out of He-Man. So I updated the prompt and now it's come up with this one. Good. This is a lovely shot where he glances down. That's a great one. That's great. And then this one is better. Good size. Good. So out of the two generations, I can cut this together, it'd be fine. My dad was also involved in a plane crash in the Bahamas within the Bermuda Triangle. He was looking for sunken treasure using an airplane. Again, sounds far-fetched, doesn't it? But I've got photographic proof, and this is the aftermath of the plane crash. It's a Cessna 337. That was my dad's plane. It had two engines, one at the front, one at the back. So I've been asking Higgsfield to generate these. This is the first attempt. That's totally the wrong aircraft. And then supplied the aftermath shot as the end frame. There's a couple of bits and pieces I can use in here, but it's a nice shot, but the wheels are down. It's only got one engine. It's a Cessna. It's the wrong Cessna. So I've been asking it to update this. I did a couple of generations on this one. I mean, the landing is terrible. That one's the worst one. And then I've been improving it slightly. So I've been getting the correct aircraft. And then miraculously, if only my dad would have had skids on the aircraft. He broke his back in this plane crash. He ended up being an inch shorter. The ending is good. I can use that splash and the settle. That works really nicely. This is the one that is just done for me. No, that's good. No skids. Oh, all goes a bit wrong towards the end there, but that's good. I can use that end bit. The skid is good. The skid to a halt is good. So I might just actually try another generation of this and see if it comes back any better. If not, I can always cut something together. But that's where I'm at now. Those are the generations that I've done using the photos from real life. But again, these are stories that I've heard my dad tell me when he was alive about the plane crash, what happened. It's the first time I've been able to transfer that from my mind's eye to video. So I'm keeping true to my mind's eye and getting AI to generate the video for me. And that's the process. And gradually I'll be able to build up a little bit of a sort of trailer for the films that I want to make about this. A lot covered in this video, but I'm keen to document all of this. And if there's any point in this video that you would like me to explain what I'm doing or how I'm using my sort of filmmaking brain or my editor's brain and attaching them to those skills, let me know.